Hello everyone, it's Cherie. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're all happy and having fun in your journals. So today I'm going to be working on Junk Journal January Prompt 4, which was Tuck Spot. And I'm using my personal journal that I've had for a while. I just have not worked in it. And to get me back into journaling again, I decided to do Junk Journal January. And I'm trying to use the prompts to get me started on my stories, just use them as inspiration to tell my stories that I would typically put in my journal. So prompt 4 is Tuck Spot, and I had this page that I love, and it's the book page on the right there that you saw in the beginning, and I decided that I would make my tuck spot right there on that page. So I've been watching this lady named Catherine, and I believe her YouTube channel is K3N, and she started a weekly slow stitch project. And the first one was a cloth weave, and I decided to go ahead and mix the two together. So I'm going to do Junk Journal January, Prompt 4, and cloth, and the weekly slow stitch for the first week. Just to kind of kill two birds with one stone, I guess. So my goal this year, one of them is to improve on my slow stitching. I have not done slow stitching for a very long time, but I really enjoy it. And so I'm no expert at this. I make a bunch of mistakes, but I'm totally okay with it because I'm learning. And in the beginning there, I tried to use pins like she did, but I'm not very good with the pins. So I use glue to stick my little pieces down. And I will leave a link to her channel below in case you want to check her out. And so I just went through my scrap of fabrics and pulled out some strips that I felt complemented that book page and cut them down, and I'm just going to create this cloth weave pattern that she did. And if you decide to give it a go, I really like the end result, even though it is super wonky, but that's okay. I'm totally fine with wonky. But I will say that, like, the next time that I do it, when I was laying my little fabric pieces down, I kind of had them overlapping a little bit, and that is something that you don't want to do. I figured out later on when I was trying to do this little project here. So you lay your pieces down, and then when you're doing your weave, you do every other one, and then the next line you do the opposite of every other one and tuck your other fabric piece in there. I hope that makes sense. But she did like a really big, not really big, but a large fabric weave piece. And because my tuck spot's going to be really small, I measured it, I believe it was 4 by 2. I'm doing a little smaller one, but I like that I'm using the project in my journal as part of like a piece to incorporate in my actual daily journal, or not daily, you know what I mean, my junk journal. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of fumbling around and trying to have it make sense, and I'm feeling like I'm totally out of my element this whole time. And towards the bottom there, my pieces would not stay up, and I was like, what am I gonna do? They're not staying up. This is gonna be tricky. And I feel like obviously it went a lot smoother for her because she's experienced, but I made it work. And they're a bit wonky, and they're not straight, but that's okay. So I ended up just using my ruler to help hold those pieces down, which worked out pretty good. And like I said, I really like the end result, so I'll probably make some more of these little cloth weave things and use them as tuck spots or pockets or whatever, because they were fun to do. And I find that doing slow stitching can kind of be intimidating, but once you get going, it's very relaxing and therapeutic. Like, I'm really enjoying it. So I started off with I think she called it a base stitch maybe, and I know that Rachel at Roxy Creations, they have a slow stitch project too, which I'm going to try to do as well. But and they're really good about explaining, her and her sister Sarah, stitches and where they came from and all that good fun stuff. But I'm trying to do what was instructed, I guess. And like I said, I'm fumbling through the whole thing, but I really did enjoy the process. It was a it was a little stressful, but it was enjoyable at the same time. So I just put this little base stitch, and I think it's where you just, I mean, I want to explain it to you, but like I said, I'm not an expert, so I don't want to tell you wrong either. But you just kind of stitch like a tiny little piece in the front, and then you go longer in the back, like do like a 1/2 inch or something like that, so that it will hold your fabric down, and then you can do your regular stitching, and then you leave it in because you can't hardly see it. So that's what I'm going to go with. So I just put my pieces in, did my little base stitch, trimmed them off, and then I'm going to just throw some stitches on it all over the place. And I had started with one color thread, and then I changed my mind and went to another thread, and then I changed my mind again, and then I landed on this thread here. And it's just embroidery floss, and I'm using 2 strands to make my stitches. So yeah, so I'm working on my wonky stitches, and I'm just trying to get familiar with actually using a needle and doing different stitches. And I think this is called just like I don't know, I want to say running stitch, but I'm not sure if that's correct of what I'm doing. And my stitches are some are longer, some are shorter, some are really close together, some are really far apart. So it's like they are just squirrel all over the place. But I did a row going vertical and a row going horizontal on each of the pieces. But I like it. I do. I like it a lot. So yeah, if you want to give it a try, or you've, thought, there's no way I'll be able to do that. I was kind of in the same boat and just decided to give it a go. So this is my little piece here for my tuck spot, and I put it on there, and I really liked how it looked, but I kind of felt like it needed just a little something else to make it kind of stand out and pop. And right now I'm just kind of going through and trimming off the threads from the fabric that were kind of poking out. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I need just a little something here to add to my crazy wonky pocket. And I just pulled out this little yellow applique flower, and I like how that looked. So I'm going to kind of fight with my Fabri-Tac glue there for a little minute before it decides to cooperate. And you can see the back, how crazy it is. But like I said, I really enjoy the process of it, so I'm going to keep doing it. And you got to start somewhere, right? And I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac to stick that down there, and that is going to be my little tuck spot. So for my story, I had these photos of my daughter and her dog, our dog, but it's her dog. Well, there's an up close of my text spot there. So because my book page there with the pretty deers are on there, I wanted to use some sort of nature pictures that I had, and I just grabbed one of my glue book pages and decided to use that as like a little journaling card that I could put my picture on. So I'm just going to trim it down and make that work to put in my little tuck spot. So my photos are from when one day we had just went to the park and walked the dog, and my daughter and her dad fished, and then I was walking the dog and getting some exercise, doing some activities. So because I've got a lot going on that page, I didn't want to make my journaling card like pop or anything. I kind of wanted to keep it toned down a little bit. So I was going through my scraps of ledger, and I was looking for like a damaged piece of antique receipts and things like that, and I couldn't find it to start with, but then I ended up finding my pouch, so it worked out. Because I was kind of trying to go for, like I said, something that was toned down and not quite so bright, because I didn't want it to take away from the deer, the picture of the book page. So I'm just going to use that as my background. And I'm just gluing it down, and I'm going to tear it with my ruler. I really like using these old receipt things, just because, you know, they're fun. The fonts and the script and everything, they just work. And I could have used a printable, but I wasn't really sure if I had any printed up, so I just went for an original. And it doesn't bother me really to use them in my journal, because like I said, they're already torn and ripped and messed up. So I put my photo on there, and I felt like, looking at it, that I knew I was going to just stitch it down to give it a little bit of texture and interest, and kind of decorate it just a little bit, but not to where it would be crazy, I guess. So I just glued my picture down with a little bit of glue stick, and then I'm going to pull my sewing machine over and just do a zigzag stitch all the way around my photo. Not my journaling card itself, but just the photo. And I really like how that looks. But it needs just a little bit of ink. And then I grabbed my my little pouch of ledger scraps that are kind of like bigger pieces, I guess. And I'm just gonna use them to give me some journaling space on the back of that card. Then I also have this other pouch that is for my collage. So I'm just kind of digging through there to see if I can find me a little scrap that I would like to use on the top, because the ledger didn't quite cover the whole back of my journaling card, which is fine. I'm just gonna add a little something on the top there. And I was looking for something that was florally. And I like that one, so I'm going to go with it. So yeah, when I'm working in my journal, a lot of the times I will make my own journaling cards while I'm working in it. The majority of the time I do, but sometimes I'll use one that I've already made, or one that's, you know, like a store one, you know, that's just like a scrapbooking paper that, or like a Project Life card or something along those lines, and use those. But typically I like to make my own while I'm working in my journal. And I think that paper is an Amity Bloom paper. I don't really know why it was in my collage paper, unless it was like a messed up print, or I know sometimes if I get a water spot on them and it, you know, bleeds the ink, I'll throw them in there and stuff like that. But it worked. I'm glad it was in there. It was meant to be. And I hope that y'all can excuse my voice. It's really early in the morning, and I'm trying not to get the dogs riled up. So I was looking at it, and I thought, you know, it needed a little label, and I was really wanting one that said like field notes, and these are the Tracy Fox labels, and I did find one that said field record, and so I was like, oh, okay, well, that works. So I'll just put that on there. It's just like a little decorative piece, and I'm going to ink it around that too. And then instead of gluing it down, I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. Even though my back side is done, but the staples, they're so small, it doesn't really matter on the back side to me. And then for my large picture, I knew I wasn't going to do anything crazy over here because I have a lot going on already, and I'm just going to tape that down with my tape gun, and just add a couple of stickers. And these are, what are they called? They're Bo Penny Brighton stickers, and they're ones that I got recently, so I was kind of excited to use them. And I really like the stickers that are like transparent, like clear, you know, where they don't have like a white border on them. Those are typically my favorite ones to use. So I was just kind of going through and looking at the florals, and I was trying to find something that was small, and everything I found was kind of large, and it would like cover up the dog or just take up too much space down there. Excuse me. And honestly, I didn't really need to put anything, but I think my son came in and started talking to me, so I got distracted. The whole time I was doing my journaling, he was distracting me. But it's okay, I don't mind the company. So I went looking through my little basket, my little bin that I have, got some little stickers in, and these are ones that I just got for Christmas from my sister-in-law, and I was hoping to find something in there, and I did. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. I do my journaling off camera. And yeah, so I'm really enjoying Junk Journal January. And this was, like I said, day 4. And, or maybe I don't do my journaling off camera. Oh, well, maybe I did. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys have a blessed day, and thank you so much for watching. These are the close-ups. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.